This is my new series, Mythic Landscapes. Every week, we explore an area in the world that seems to have stepped out of myth and legend. Hi, I'm your guide to the unseen world. Mythic landscapes are wild places with strange histories, weird legends, or unusual natural features that seem almost mythical. But there are also mythical creatures that dwell here, things like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or the strange beast people of the Scottish Highlands, the coast. We'll investigate all of these things and more. In this episode, we re-headed to North Carolina to explore one of the most magical forests in the whole of the United States. We're going deep into the woods to explore a place where trees defy gravity, floating high above the forest floor. It's an enchanting realm known as Canopy Hollow. Canopy Hollow is located in the Pisgah National Forest in Transylvania County, North Carolina, a region of America's Appalachian Mountains. The name Canopy Hollow was given to it because of the way that the trees in this little section of forest appear to float above the ground. In reality, they don't actually fly. They're rooted firmly to the forest floor. However, the trees have grown around the gaps and hollows left by fallen trees, and this gives the forest a dreamlike quality. It feels like we've stepped into another world, perhaps even stepping through some kind of portal into a fantastical realm. It's like nothing else I've ever seen before, and I've explored some pretty weird places. The area has become so popular that tickets need to be purchased for entry, and parking is only allowed at certain times of day in order to protect the environment. Also, no drones are allowed inside the forest, which is really annoying me because I really want to get drone footage of these trees. But hey, rules are rules, and in this case, the rule makes sense. The forest needs protecting. There is a 1-mile hiking trail that takes visitors around the main part of the forest. Along this path are several viewing platforms from which we can marvel at the majestic trees. I prefer the earlier parts of the day when the sunlight streams through the canopy, giving the forest floor a dappled pattern of light and shade. This is when the place really feels magical. So how did this magical forest come to be? Well, the answer lies in the history of the area. The ancient indigenous people would have known about this place, but details are scarce, and we don't know much about their history. However, in the 1800s, we know that loggers were working in these mountains, harvesting the valuable timber. But logging doesn't explain how these trees came to grow so close together and form a canopy so thick that it appears as if the trees are floating. To find out how this happened, we need to look to nature itself. Trees naturally grow towards any available source of light. So when a large tree falls across a forest, creating a gap in the canopy, other trees will grow towards this opening in order to capture the extra sunlight. Over time, these trees will eventually cover up the hole again, and this creates a canopy effect. It's thought that many years ago, there was a severe storm in this area, which created a huge break in the canopy. Since then, the trees have slowly been growing to fill in the gap, creating the unique landscape we see today. It's estimated that it will take another 200 years for the canopy to completely seal once more. And when that happens, the floating trees will disappear forever. The forest itself has an ancient feel to it. It consists of oak, hickory, and maple trees, some of which are hundreds of years old. These trees were here long before humans ever set foot in the area, and they've seen thousands of seasons come and go. In springtime, the forest floor is carpeted in wildflowers. There are trilliums, violets, and even rare orchids, such as the showy lady slipper. The trees themselves burst into leaf, creating a sea of green. Summer brings warm days to the forest, and this is a great time to visit as the weather is at its best and the trees provide plenty of shade. Autumn is a very popular time to visit, too, as the leaves turn to gold, orange, and red. It's a spectacular sight and the perfect time for a romantic stroll. And winter is beautiful, too, with the bare branches silhouetted against the gray sky. A dusting of snow transforms the landscape into a winter wonderland. No matter what season you visit Canopy Hollow in, it's always a magical experience. I couldn't help but notice some of the strange plant life in the area too, such as these strange little fungi. There are also strange, spiky plants that look like tiny pine cones, but aren't actually related to pine trees at all. These are called witch hazel, and the local indigenous people used them medicinally. Witch hazel grows wild throughout the northern hemisphere. The leaves are simple and alternate, and the flowers are small and inconspicuous. The fruit is a small nut enclosed in a prickly shell. Witch hazel was used by Native Americans to treat a variety of ailments, including colds, flu, sore throat, and urinary tract infections. It was also used as a topical astringent to stop bleeding and reduce inflammation. Witch hazel is still used today in a variety of over-the-counter medications and treatments. But what about the animals that live here? Surely some fantastical beasts must reside in these woods. While exploring, I saw lots of evidence of deer, including these beautiful tracks in the mud. There are also lots of squirrels here, and occasionally we can see a flying squirrel gliding from tree to tree. Birds are abundant too, with woodpeckers drumming loudly and the occasional hawk soaring overhead. The forest is also home to a variety of reptiles and amphibians, including salamanders, snakes, and frogs. These creatures play an important role in the ecosystem, helping to keep the population of insects and rodents under control. I was lucky enough to spot one of the most elusive creatures in the forest, a tiny salamander. The red eft is a type of eastern newt, and it gets its name from the bright red color it displays when it's out of water. They spend their days on land, and they often gather in large numbers along forest paths. Newts are toxic to predators, and their bright colors serve as a warning. If a predator is foolish enough to eat one, they will soon become violently ill and may even go blind. Newts are fascinating creatures, and they're an important part of the ecosystem. While exploring this forest, I got a real sense of peace and tranquility. It's easy to forget that you're in the middle of a busy forest when you're standing here, surrounded by trees. It feels as though you could be anywhere in the world. It's the perfect place to relax and enjoy the beauty of nature. I spent several hours walking around this amazing place, and I didn't want to leave. I could have stayed there all day, and I still wouldn't have seen everything. It's not just the forest itself that's enchanting. The surrounding area is beautiful, too. Just outside the forest is the town of Brevard, North Carolina, a charming mountain town with plenty of shops, restaurants, and galleries to explore. If you're looking for a place to stay, there are plenty of cabins and cottages in the area that offer a cozy retreat. And if you're feeling active, there are plenty of hiking trails and waterfalls to explore. So when are you coming to visit Canopy Hollow? I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mythic Landscapes. If you want to learn about more strange and mysterious places, make sure to check out our videos on the Loch Ness Monster and the Beast of Bodmin Moor. Thanks for watching. Bye.